How you doing, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. We're going to be going through our wing fullbacks in this video. I've actually ranked them from 1 to 13 from the options that I have there. A couple of them are cash cow type of players, and then obviously got the big guns at the top there. And we're starting with Tommy Trbojevic, and obviously you know how incredible he's been. There's a chance he does get rested for round 16, so my thoughts are around probably not picking him up now, but he's an immediate target around 18, 19. Whenever he's back and playing the rest of the season after Origin, you lock him into your squad. He's our current best fullback in the game by a long way. It's only Ryan Pappenhausen and Ponga, who are 60 plus scorers also, but Tommy is 70.6. You get him at 810k, which is slightly under where he should be priced for a 70 average. You got guys like Tohu Harris at perfect at the 810 value for a 66 average. So Tommy's above that at the moment. So you get him at the tiniest bit of discount, and he's just the best player in the game at the moment, apart from Cleary, who looks like he's probably going to be injured for an extended period of time, and we'll talk about that in the next few videos. Just when we find out a little bit more over the next couple of days, we should hopefully be able to make a decision by Thursday, Thursday and Friday when the game starts for the week. So that's Tommy. Let's move to Teddy, and I've got him as number 2 option, and we're going through the risk and reward based on the prices as well, guys. So there's a reason I've got Pap and Ponga down a bit lower. One's injury, but also their price point. When Teddy, we've got him at a close to a 60-point average in previous years, and we get him at 618k for a current year average of 51.7. So for Teddy, if we look at his scores, we've obviously got one low one where he played limited minutes this year, but the other games, especially in the last bunch, he's been back to some of his best scoring, and that's without scoring any tries either. So an 80, 55, 53, and 53 over those last 4 puts me in a good thought process as to how he's going to score, for the rest of the year. Had a bit of a low point there, 44, 36, and 6 and 34 over that 4-week period there, missing 1 week. But you can see at the start had 4 really good games, obviously a bunch of tries in that one, but just hasn't scored any tries since. So for me, I think there's some room to grow with Teddy's scoring and also his price. So he's actually still owned by 63 out of the top 100 and 68% in the top 5K. So if you don't have him and he goes really well, which he's pretty close to the best player in the game in general, showed that definitely in Origin on the other night, then he's someone that we're going to need in our squads going forward. And if you don't have him, you're going to fall behind because he should be scoring 50 plus. Should at least be getting his current average and current price and being able to score better than that. So that's our first one with Teddy. I think that's why he's number 2 on the list. Number 3 on the list is Reece Walsh, and this one's pending injury. So he obviously has done a little bit of something to his hamstring. Good chance he misses round 16 as well, so that would be about a week and a half between week and a couple of days between games. It would have been if he misses 16, and then you've got another week on top of that to recover. So most of these hamstring injuries seems to be sort of 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 3 if they're bad, but we know what they're like with them. If they get a little bit of tightness or soreness or a slight strain, then they just rule them out straight away, because there's no point re-aggravating these types of injuries, as we know with Tommy Trbojevic. But Walsh is owned by everyone, so I don't think anyone's going to be trading him out. I just think if you don't have him, you've got to get him in. If you do have him, I think you're just holding and hoping he plays 17. And that's why I have him as a pretty important player. You get him at a discount, 52 average, 576k. There's not really much else to say because he plays around 17. You've got to get him into your squad if you don't have him. All right, Brian To'o is an interesting one. I'm putting him in next just because he's dropped a little bit in price from where he was. He was about 100 odd K more expensive. Someone with a 56 average, he's way underpriced for that average. And that's just based on the last 5 weeks. So, 56 average puts him at like 730, 740k, about 100k undervalued there. And you see what he did at the start of the season. Obviously a decent amount of tries, but nothing crazy. Like it's 3, 5, 6, 8 for the year in 15 games, or a couple less. But, he's not someone that completely relies on tries. He relies on the big meters and the tackle breaks there. So if you're going to be averaging 56, I think he can continue doing that and not too much of an issue. 50 plus for the rest of the year. And if he does get 50 plus, he's priced accordingly, / slightly undervalued. So I think he's a great option in round 18 if he gets a gig in that one. He's been playing really well in Origin, so I don't see why anything changes for the Panthers when he comes back. So again, another one of those guys picking up after Origin will be ideal, whether that's in 18 or 19, if he backs up or not. I think that's when you pick Brian up there. But yeah, a really awesome Origin period, didn't he? We move on to Latrell. I'd put as my next option. The biggest one for him is the price point. So you get him at 583, which is sorry, which is a big discount to his average. So he's sitting at 52 average there. Is really really strong for the wing fullback position. And at his price of 583, I think you get him at a nice discount. So we can have a look at his scoring in the past bunch of weeks, and 32, 24, 42, and 48 brings his price right down, which is cool. If you're looking to pick him up, if you own him, then you're like, come on, bro, sort it out. But a bunch of really big scores, 69, 95, 84, in amongst some little ones. So my worries is that going to be continued? If those exact scores are continued for the rest of the year, then you get a 51 average at a cheaper price point. Awesome. So I don't really see much downside with him, apart from if you're picking him up to get you need a couple of good scores in certain weeks, then I don't think he's an amazing option just because of the instability and in variability in his scores. But if you're looking, you go, yep, I'm just going to pick him up in round 18. If he backs up and stick and hold for the rest of the year, then I think he's going to be a good option at the price point. So yeah, if you're looking for a keeper, I think you can. Mitchell can be a man. All right, we talk about Pat. Not really too much to say in terms of his stats. We know what he was doing, and then he had a low score when he got injured, when he got the head knock. Haven't seen those boys back yet, have we? Fulmayano and Maguire, they'll be pretty close to returning, but gee, that feels like a while ago, doesn't it? So Pap, 64 average. If he gets back to full health, the issue with him is we don't know whether it's going to be in round 16, round 7, round 18, round 19, or round 20. That's kind of the window that they've given us there. So when he comes back, when he gets a game or two under his belt, because he's going to lose a bit of cash, then I think we can pick him up. And he's going to be one of the best scorers in the game, definitely. It's one of the best wing fullbacks in the game, for sure, and possibly best scorers in the game with that 64 average. So if he can do that, awesome. But I think he's at 6 because I'm just going to wait, and that price point can come down a little bit. Similar with Ponga, coming off a groin injury that's brought him out for 6 to 7 weeks now, which is going to be pretty crazy. So for him, 60 average, he's a great player. Going to lose a bit of cash when he comes back. You probably want to see him get a good game or two under his belt before you pick him up. So all these guys could be great upgrade options or great injury trade-off options at the back end of the year. We move over to someone like Gutho, and there's not really too much to look at in terms of his scoring. Been really, really consistent this year. Much better scoring than he did last year, averaging just a shade under 50 last year. So upgraded his scoring in a team that's doing really well. If the Parramatta Eels can continue to do what they're doing, I think Gutho can continue to score 55 as an average, and he's slightly underpriced just based on a few lower scores in recent weeks. So Gutho, 55 average, put him ahead of the next bunch of guys, even though they play in round 17. So we got Walsh in 17, and then we have RTS, Garrick, Mulatalo, and Simonson. So RTS is a possible gun keeper. My issue with him is just, if you're holding him, I think you can, because we got Walsh, should be out in round 16, which means RTS will be at the back. Maybe it's 17 as well, but we'll work that out from there. And you can decide after round 17 if you're going to get rid of him or not. But I probably will be, personally, upgrading him to one of these guys. I haven't got a Tommy at the moment, so Tommy, Teddy, all these type of guys will be a nice upgrade for RTS. If we're looking at Garrick, I just think his price is way too high at the moment. He's priced at an average a little bit over his 48.9, just for how good his last sort of 5 to 7 games has been. He's a winger, where all these guys are fullbacks on our left side there. So with Garrick, I don't think he's worth picking up. He's had a bit of a hot run. I can see him getting a couple of games of 20 to 40, especially if Manly don't play as well. But we'll have a wait and see on that one. Obviously, he plays 17, which is great. If you picked him up last few weeks, you keep holding until 18, 19, and maybe it's worth to cash him out. Use that cash to go to a Teddy or a Tommy or whatever you need to do. Okay, a slightly interesting one with Mulatalo. I want to have a look at him going forward at 467. So probably a slightly awkward price for a winger especially, but you can see what happened the last few weeks there when he came back from that injury. So 68, 59, and 51. Obviously involves 4 tries, a lot of line breaks in there, and just doing everything right, 7, 7, and 8 tackle breaks. But that's based on the fact he's just playing really well. He's just, every time he gets the ball, it looks like he's very damaging and could come out and destroy the opposition, and just didn't look like that at the start of the season. Sharks were playing okay, so they're not playing any different now to then. They are winning extra games, but they're winning close ones. It's not like they're dominating teams now, and he's the real benefit out of it. He's just been really good as a player, so he's on my radar, but I just think probably a little bit too expensive. He will make some money over the next bunch of weeks with a low break even, and really not owned by anyone, so you could use him as a bit of a out there pick of 100 to 200k cheaper than most of the other guys. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. if you needed someone in that bracket. And obviously the other one is Bailey Simonson at 386, sorry. Just coming off him moving into the fullback position, he's got a 66 and a 34. So if you're looking for someone to average 35, 40, I'd say over the next period, you need someone that's going to gain a bit of cash for you. You might get him to about 500k. If you have a lot of trades left, I think it could be worth it. It's crazy, actually. The top 100, 35 of the top 100 have Bailey Simonson. That's actually ridiculous, in my opinion. But they obviously see something in him that I don't. I think he's going to do okay, but I just don't know if it's worth the extra trades. Anyway, Simonson is an option at 386 if you want him in your team. And our last one is just Nico. We know what's going on with Nico Hines. Obviously waiting on Pap to come back. The thing is, yeah, so Pap could be back closer to round 20. So I think in that case, you could probably just hold and hold. If not, if you're ready to cash him out because he's really got to a nice price, and then 48.9 average at 728k, he's about seven points down from what that average should be. So it's about a 55 average at the 728, 56 average. So if you want to use that cash over the next few weeks, then that'd be great. He's obviously still had some big scores in his last 5 rounds, so 70 and 101. 70 just come out. He's now got the 101, 90, 49, 55, and 50. So his price will start to drop a little bit over the next couple of weeks with a higher break even, at 77. So he has to have a big one this week. I think you can hold for this week and then maybe move him on in 17 for one of those guys that you need to, whether it's in another position in the wing fullback position, or you just hold over that buy period and upgrade him from there when Pap's coming back, for example. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's the wing fullback position. Let me know your thoughts on that one. What kind of combination you're running at the moment? Let me know if you're enjoying these videos. I really appreciate that. I said, let me know the combo. Please like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Have a great day.